first, the crossing wasn't difficult, but then, as it went on, the wind died down. Difficult wind conditions going on, and the team has gotten a little scattered. We got to Nassau in all kinds of different ways, from Mauritius via Paris and Havana, from St. Petersburg via Havana, and even from Moscow via Istanbul and London.
Замечательная леди, wonderful lady, just advised us, советует нам начать день с шотландского завтрака, Scottish breakfast. Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
We flew and arrived in the Bahamas straight to Nassau. The bus arrived, but there were no boards.
Can you tell us how long does it take to go there? Our friends over waiting.
Got a little half an hour.
On the first day, the luggage did not arrive, and the four of us had only one board. On the second day in Nassau, hooray! All the boards were brought over. The first days in Nassau were all about checking equipment and the cohesion of our team. Plans were grandiose, as always. The wind had been blowing hard for the last 10 days. As soon as our release date arrived, the wind changed. The forecast was very complex and incomprehensible. A gorgeous east wind was blowing. On the day of our crossing, it changed to the north, a little northwest, just like that. When the wind changes, it's never clear how or what it'll be like. Therefore, the plan is as follows. Tomorrow, we take a boat, quickly come to Great Inagua Island, which means mooring in Matthewtown and sitting on the boat, waiting for the wind and watching. And this is something we seem to be able to do and have done well many times already. So here we go. We start refueling somewhere here. Then we go around here like this, we go through here, and then here is the final push into Matthewtown. The equipment was checked, the team was solid, the team spirit is great, there is mutual assistance, there is mutual understanding. Everything's going well. Finally, the entire team set off on a boat from Nassau to Matthewtown, with visits to Staniel Cay and Dead Man's Reef.
Hi everyone, I'm back again with Vladimir and Sodis, again to the Bahamas, and trust me, I have no idea how Vladimir was able to get this fantastic boat to cross from the Bahamas to Cuba, but he did again, and we are here ready to go. First day, we are already navigating direction the south of the Bahamas. Stunning weather, stunning water, people ready to go, and will be absolutely another fantastic trip.
At the first spot where training was planned, it turned out it was already occupied, and we decided not to argue with the locals. We had to settle for sightseeing instead.
captain commander of the entire deal. At least I hope so, I think so. And I have only one boss here in this group, Vladimir.
That's retro.
Yeah. And then we would very much like to ask our recorder to move a little bit camera over the sea to check our partners and neighbors.
We spent the night on the island of Staniel Cay and walked about 150 kilometers yesterday. It's dawn now. We'll be on the road again soon.
When we arrive, I think in about 5 hours, hopefully. But it just depends on the sea conditions. If it calms down a little bit, we can speed up again. But if it keeps coming up more, we have to slow down more. But fingers crossed, within 5 hours.
Finally, we got to Matthewstown. A fisherman's best friend is duct tape. As it turns out, the best friend of a record-breaking kiter is also duct tape. Waiting for the refuel, exploring the surroundings, searching for the most suitable starting point. There was really a very narrow window of opportunity for the crossing to take place. There had only been a few hours of strong wind in the forecast. It would start at 7 in the morning in Matthewstown and end by mid-afternoon. At 7 o'clock in the morning, Vladimir Popov was the first to set out on the course, leading the group towards Cuba for the first hour and a half. Artem Senik and Moldovanov immediately followed him out. The group was closed out by Konstantin Aksenov, who shepherded the entry of all participants into the crossing. 4 riders on the water still ahead. This crossing was very difficult, especially difficult. The team first came out and traveled very smoothly and quite quickly. At the end, the wind stopped and the team got slightly scattered. Because of this, questions arose with who will go ashore where. 3 people went out together, whereas Konstantin Aksenov went ashore in an uninhabited place on Dog's Tooth Island on the reef. Oof. I was thrown out onto the rocks and barely managed to stick around. But I met a fisherman who saved me. He called a boat, it took me, and, well, in general, everything ended well, thank God. And of course, the tension died down when all the participants got together and said, "Yes, we've made it! Bahamas to Cuba, Matthewstown to Baracoa." Last year, we set a world record when we moved from Cuba to Cabo San Antonio, Cancun. And now we decided that the most correct thing would be to come to Cuba from the Bahamas, which is what we did today. I can very humbly say that we set a new world record today. No one has ever crossed the Old Bahama Channel on kites before. We did this with great support from Cuba, for which we are very grateful. Thank you very much. flavor. What conditions we have to work in.